Hello, welcome back to the new school year 2021, and I want to congratulate all of you for having passed the previous grade, and now you're here for to be grade 5 students. So my name is Teacher G, and I will be teaching science this year. So are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the first unit that we will study about is about forces in everyday life, Unit 3. And our first topic will be resultant force, and this will be part 1. Okay, you'll find this in your new book. That's your Targeting Science, Primary 5, pages 81 to 90. Okay, so here we have the vocabulary. Let us learn about these words first. We have force, resultant force, magnitude, and direction. Okay, force. Force is a push or a pull acting on an object. Okay? Resultant force is the sum of all the forces acting on an object. Magnitude is the size of something, anything, an object, anything that you can do. Okay, direction means the position where an object is going to. It's either to the left, to the right, going up, or going down. So we have this picture here. You can see two students carrying one box and then one student carrying the box alone. So let's read. This box is so heavy. Okay, and then the other two said, Tom, do you need help to carry that box? What do you notice in this picture? Okay, the same box has, those two boxes has the same weight. Why? Why it looks so light here? Okay, so will more people carry the box easily? Why is that? So in this chapter, we will learn about that one. Okay, so we do many activities in our daily lives. In our activities, we need to exert or put forces on objects. For example, we put force to. This is just an example. Okay, open and close doors. Imagine if you don't have the force to open and close the doors, will it move? No. Okay, so you have to put force in it. Next, you have to use force to grab objects, just like when you drink. You get the cup, lift it up, and then drink. Okay, so the forces that we exert can act in the same or opposite directions, and they can make the objects move. All these forces put together is called resultant force. Okay, again, resultant force is a sum of all the forces acting on an object. So do you know how to get the resultant force exerted in an object? Do you know? Okay, let's see. Oh, arrow. So I will explain you all about this one. So to get the resultant force, we need to know the magnitude, the size, and direction of all the forces. So when forces act in the same direction, the resultant force is the sum of all the forces. This one, where is it going? To the left or to the right? Okay, to the left. Okay? See? The same direction. And the pink one going to the right, the same direction. So when forces act in the opposite direction, the resultant force is the difference between the forces. You can see these arrows, they're going the opposite ways. One going to the left, one going to the right. Okay, so the force can make the object change its form, start moving, stop moving, or change its direction. As you can see in this box, okay, this guy is carrying it, so he starts moving, he stops, and then change to the opposite direction. So a force has both magnitude and direction. The unit of force is called Newton. And we use a spring scale or spring balance to measure force, and a spring scale looks like this one. Okay. Have you seen one of this? Okay. Next, okay, science fact. Newton, the unit of force, is named after an English scientist called Sir Isaac Newton. That's him. He was the one who discovered the theory of gravity, and he also studied about forces and motion of objects. Okay, so we use an arrow to show the magnitude and direction of a force. So here's the rule. The length of an arrow shows the magnitude or size of a force. So if an arrow is long, the magnitude of force is big. Okay, like for example here, you see the arrow is long going to the right. So you can read this, an arrow showing an 80 newtons force. Mind you that 1 centimeter of arrow is equal to 10 newtons. So remember, the longer the arrow, the greater the force. Next, if an arrow is short, the magnitude of force is small. Okay, so this one is showing a 20 newtons force. So you see, this is shorter than this one. Okay, next. Okay, the head of an arrow shows the direction of the force. So this one, the force is going to the, it's pointing where? Left or right? Okay, of course, to the left. And this one, the force is going to the right. Okay, more example here. Okay, this one is pulling a rope. So a force is acting on the rope to the left. Okay, and this one, a downward force is acting on the plastic pump bottle downward. You see, in order, for example, you get your shampoo, right? You have to push the pump downward to get what's inside. Okay, so how do we read a force? An 80 Newton force. So you read this as the force has a magnitude of 80 newtons acting to the, where is it pointing? To the right. And here, this force has a magnitude of 20 newtons acting to the left. Okay, more example. Okay, actually we have 3 cases. First one is same direction, second opposite direction, and the third one is stationary or no movement. So today we will study about case 1, same direction. Okay, 2 or more forces acting on the same object in the same direction. The resultant force is more than 0. Okay, you see this one? It's more than 0. The object moves in the same direction as the forces. For example, here we have the force 1, which is 20 newtons, and force 2, 30 newtons, going to the right. Okay, so what you will do is just add the 2 forces because they're going to the same direction. Okay, force 1, which is 20 newtons, plus force 2, that's 30 newtons. So the resultant force will be 50 newtons. So the object is moved to the right by a resultant force of 50 newtons. For example, okay, there's a box. So example 2, 2 forces, 4 newtons and 6 newtons are acting on the box in the same direction, to the right. Okay, the box will move in the same direction as the 2 forces with the resultant force of, what do? Add. So it's 4 plus 6 equals to 10. Going to the right. More examples. Okay, 4 newtons and 2 newtons going to the left. What do? Add again. 4 plus 2 equals 6 newtons. So the ball will move to the left, this side. Next. Okay, 7 newtons and 5 newtons acting to the right. 7 plus 5, that's 12. So the ball will move to the right. Don't forget, if both forces are acting in the same direction, the objects will move in the same direction as the forces. Okay? So force A plus force B, that will be your resultant force. Okay, so for your video, for the activity for video number 1, you have to answer this one, Targeting Science Primary 5, page 82. So you only have 1, 2, 3, and 4. First one, the kids are playing tug of war. So you just tell if it's same direction or opposite direction. You just have to check. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Good job and keep safe.